Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and developments like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, here the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guest. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that's scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motion. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
Crumb TV.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, here the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guest. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that's scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Best.
Crumb TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard right there, that is the Theta Waves featuring the Twin Pillars. Listen, just off that early bar that Blue spit. All net, all vets, bums we not. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Theta Waves video shoot during the mother effing ticker tape parade. Nigga, what are we talking about? Oh, man, you know we got to bring that to New York. You know we got to bring that to... I might even take the charge. I got the bail money. I'm going to stand on top of MSG, my nigga. I need that shot. Money shot. You know what I'm talking about? We need the Twin Pillar shot with the orange and the blue on top of the jump. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Lock me up. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to get out the same day. But yeah, man. Definitely. That video, that's screaming for New York right now. That's screaming. I just want to hear, to be honest with you, on some real ish, and I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy, because I know I don't even really dig Funk Master Flex. He's not my cup of tea. But boy, oh boy, if a genie gave me 3 wishes, I'm like, I want to hear that man drop 1,000 bombs on that shit. Keep bringing it back. You know what I'm talking about? Like how he did for Otis, for Jay-Z and Kanye. I need like 2 hours of bombs on that shit from Funk Master Flex with that talk. Not DJ Clue. I need that Funk Master talk. You know what I'm talking about? Like I need him to talk his talk. Bombs, my nigga. Real talk. That's one of my wishes right there. Y'all should grant me that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should grant me that. I low-key feel like Theta Waves got the Knicks to the finals. Real talk. Like that's how I'm seeing it. I'm gonna paint it the way I want to see. I feel like the song is inspo. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, I'm like, there's not really a lot of New York songs that could really stand out and be like, yeah, I was waving and you know, this was the inspiration. I don't know, because literally New York don't have an anthem. They in the finals without an anthem. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. They out there playing the best of. You know what I mean? This shit sound like, you know what I mean? They went to the best of New York songs. They just pulling the fucking classics out. But they don't have a current hit. That shit Mano did is cool and everything, but that sounds like a Miss Rachel song. I'm feeling good today. Hey. Yeah, that sounds like Miss Rachel. That sounds like you know what I mean? That sounds like a PBS song. It's cool and everything. It's kind of catchy, but no, that's not it. I got 100 guns and 100 clips, baby. I'm from New York. Yeah, that shit is like 1,000 years old. You feel me? That's like 1,000 years old. I think Patrick Ewing and them came out to that. You know, I think Mike Tyson's first fight, he came out to that. That's an old song. You feel me? You would think the weed is free, the bagels are Jewish, and the mayor is Muslim. You would think that these niggas would be in the lab. You know what I'm talking about? With all of those rappers in New York. You would think. I like the one with Max B and everything, but no, that's not a Nick song. Ever Since You Left Me. No, that ain't it. They just trying to throw anything at the board. We don't have an official anthem yet. Them boys is doing this shit off of songs that we listen to on our Walkmans. Facts. No problem and whatnot, but that's stale curry. Play some Griselda at this point. Nah, we good. No 38 special over here, fam. It's all Jadakiss. Facts. We don't do that. Yeah, it's all Jadakiss. All day. How dare that young boy come out of his side of his neck like that? Nigga, what? I hope Jadakiss get that nigga the kiss of death. This, you know what I mean? He cool and everything, but what? The audacity, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? It's just gotten too, you know what I mean? Now we got to start getting on our borough shit because y'all done went too far. Jadakiss not even from the boroughs. You know what I'm talking about? Jadakiss is from like the burbs and whatnot. He from Yonkers, my nigga, but 38 Special violated trying to chase down the God? Are you fucking dumb? Like, I take the offense to that. But anyway, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with. Boom, Dr. Doom. Yeah, I was lit. Nobody can tell me that the mother effing Wu is not the reason why the Knicks finna get the chip. I'm trying to tell you, there's no way whatsoever in the history of mankind that these boys was down 30 points at the half and young Raekwon and the Method Man and them niggas came out, you know what I'm talking about, and did what they did. You know what I mean? The RZA, he did what he had to do. You know what I mean? Young Abbott, the Abbott came out and they casted a spell and them boys came out with a new conviction. You know what I'm talking about? And pulled off some shit that nobody's never seen before. You know? Somebody said, I don't know, Red, if they set that up, we see Special with the, no, 38 Special, no disrespect to the God. His rhyme, the way that he rhymes, his flow, the way that he writes, you know what I'm talking about? I have not heard, you know, he's not wittier than Jadakiss. No way, no how. Give me a witty bar. He says things, but his flow is not messing with young Jason. What are we talking about? Did you see what Jadakiss did to Fab? Y'all saying this shit? What? No. Nigga, what? Name me 4 38 Special songs. Just go right off the top. Give me 4 songs. Y'all tweaking, right? You must be from Syracuse or something. Respectfully. They tried that shit with Big Daddy Kane, with Max B. You know what I mean? And we gave him the pass because he was eating core crab food for like 18 years. You know what I mean? And he didn't even get a detox. You could look at his stomach. So I'm like, you know what? The food fucked him up. You know what I'm talking about? He was in a box. He was doing 16 years eating them that processed food. We gonna give him a year to get his mind right. But 38 Special, yo, you just feeling yourself, fam. You said Special's up there. So who is he better? He's not better than Stove God. He's not better than Conway. He is not better than Benny. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're not comparing 38 to Max. What I was saying was Max B said some blasphemous stuff against Big Daddy Kane, his hero. You know, his hero. And Big Daddy Kane is a whole legend. You can't even come at the legends. Like, respectfully, it just has to be a limit drawn. Jadakiss kind of falls under that category. He put in so much work. He caught a body in Madison Square Garden and still ain't go to jail for it. You know what I'm talking about? The bodies was called Jim Jones, Jadakiss, and Jules Santana. Single-handedly bodied them. I don't even think and it what don't say Sheik Luch did it, and please don't say Styles P did it. You say he's better than Biddy and Stove because he got his business together. Special be eating Benny on the albums. Wow, what album is that y'all listening to? You know what I'm talking about? What albums were y'all listening to? Because I have never heard my nigga take. He did never. I heard J. Cole on a Benny song run laps around the boy, But are you telling me that 38 Special is running laps around Benny in his wordplay? Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, Planet Asia. Yeah. They go in together. They go in together. But Ransom, and now if Ransom wanted to start popping his ish, he could definitely he had to me as a lyricist, you know what I'm talking about? He has, and I'm not saying that he's not different, but he ain't that different to where you got the nerve to say that Jadakiss is ducking you for a verse. Nigga, what? Talk your shit, but don't talk it like that. And Ransom, nobody could rock with Ransom. I don't even think that Benny can hang with Ransom. I don't know who on Griselda could fuck with Ransom's pen right now. You know? I really don't. Ransom's pen game is retarded right now. You know? I'm going to go listen to Stabbed and Shot 2. I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to go spin it and whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm going to spin it. But the same way that Jada has a monotone flow, he has a flow that kind of like is, when you hear him, you hear the flow. It's the same way the 38 Special has his flow. It's his like trademark flow. But those two flows, when you put them together, man, no, because Son don't even have a mixtape era like that. I know he got projects and whatnot, but Jadakiss carried the 90s mixtape era. He carried the Clue era on his back. We're not even talking about the singles and the albums. And he's a mixtape God tier on the mixtapes. You feel me? God tier on the mixtapes. Ransom is a problem. Somebody needs to get that man a bag and whatnot. The fact that Ransom is not up there in the top tier conversations, you know that the game is rigged and whatnot. So I will not overlook Ransom for somebody else. I like Rome Streets, but I'm not overlooking Ransom. You feel me? I'm not gonna put Stove God ahead of him. I'm not putting none of them ahead. Even with, like I said, if there was a verses that I would want to see, it would be Ransom and Benny. Real talk. It would be Ransom and Benny and whatnot. You know? Special is nice. He all right. Rome is dope. Yeah, Rome Streets. He got that old school flow. You know, all of them got that old school 90s flow. They are vintage. You know, they're like vintage. They're what we call avant-garde. You know? It's that avant-garde rap. You know? If you make Jada go pop Addy, 38 will regret that. You know what I mean? Listen to Power 1st of April and center stage to hear Benny get matched bar for bar with 38. I will definitely go ahead and listen to him. Rock Marciano is elite. I don't even, you know what I mean? Rock Marciano, his bars, that's what I'm saying. You want to talk about, you gotta, some rappers, you gotta read books to understand what's being said. You know, I would say Rock Marciano is for niggas with degrees and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Rock Marciano was more like for people to read books because he's very witty with his stuff. He's coming from different angles with it. You said Kiss responded. Yeah, he said he said he about to get in the booth. He said he about to get in the booth. I ain't hear the song. I like Fuego bass, but what are we saying? Yeah, Fuego is cool. He makes some good stuff with Benny, you know, but he needs to get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I would say all of these upstate New York rappers, the ones that have been spitting for a long time, they all have carved a lane for themselves. They definitely get my respect and whatnot. I would love to see their stage shows. You know, that's the next level of everything. I don't know what they look like on stage and whatnot. I haven't seen any standout performances from damn near none of them. But if you switch Jada voice with Spesh voice, would you say the same thing? Meaning what? I don't understand what that means. If I gave 38 Spesh Jada Kiss's voice and he was saying 38's bars, yeah, that shit might land differently. The voice is a cheat code. This fucking raspy Jada Kiss. Y'all heard me with the raspy. I should have went to the booth that day. You know what I'm talking about? And I could have went to the booth and put out a Raspy Red album. You know what I mean? The raspy shit is a cheat code. You know? The raspy shit is a G code. The real thing that 38 Spesh has over Jadakiss is that he could probably body him because he could hit him with the nigga, you went to college, you don't really, you know what I mean? Like I live this, you're just rapping this. He could get him on that angle. He could definitely get him, and I never really heard nobody really body Jadakiss on that angle and whatnot. Because remember when he was going after Beanie and whatnot, when they were battling State Property, they were trying to hit him with that angle, but it didn't hit the same. And then later on, it was revealed that Jadakiss was not who everybody thought he was. So that could be an angle, but still in all, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And none of them, to be honest with you, listening to Wu-Tang last night, and hearing, Raekwon's flow, hearing the Ghostface flow, just hearing that classic shit where it was so distinct, and then seeing Nasir Jones in the building and then playing some Nas afterwards, like we talking about I don't, you know what I mean? Like I would love to give the New Yorkers a crown, but you got fucking Jim Jones in the forefront, you got Dave East in the forefront. You know what I mean? You got Mano in the fort. These are D and C level tier rappers, respectfully. These are not elite barsmen. These are not bartenders. These are C and D tier rappers. And they have become the face of New York. So New York is definitely, now I know why the Griselda dudes be talking so greasy and they be stunting and whatnot. Because when you look at what New York is looking like right now, it's damn near, you know what I'm saying? Like what? That ain't it, bro. You know what I'm talking about? That is not it. Yeah, shout out to AZ. You want to hear a real barsman? You want to hear real lyrics? The veterans somewhat still have, I'm not going to listen to a new Wu-Tang album more than likely. I don't know if I'm going to give it all of my time unless they come out with some heat rocks. But yeah, man. Somebody said Dave is Super Reggie. I think Dave East has a future on film. He got a future on film. Shout out to Dave East. You know what I'm saying? He's a better actor than me because look, Lost and Found. His nigga ain't found his flow yet. I mean, did he go and look for it? He did not find his flow yet. He's not in that pocket where when I listen to him, I'm like, this nigga's nervous system has calmed down. He's a ball player. Yes. He played Method Man to a place, to such a degree where I thought that was Method Man for a minute. Why not just do the Tikal movie, my nigga? You know what I'm talking about? Why not just do the Tikal movie? Why not just do the making of You're All That I Need with Mary J. Blige and let like Summer Walker be Mary J? Nigga, go to Hollywood. Go do a micro drama. You know what I'm talking about? He got a good voice, but he has not found his pocket. And Nas has not did one song with him to like give him a stamp. He ain't stamp him yet. He could have been did a song. He could have did the Uchi Wally remix with the nigga. Because literally he signed him. That's his artist. You know what I mean? That's his artist. So the Knicks were down by 30, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks were down by 30. And Method Man had the audacity to say Knicks in 5. And they was looking at Method Man like, we about to pack this thing up, bro. We're going home. Knicks is getting packed. They getting packed up in front of the celebrities. And they had the big watch parties and shit. Dave got, and there goes my point. Can you name them? Give me 4 bars off of the songs that they got together. Nas is on some throwaway tracks. They don't have no classics together. Hello? You dig? They don't got no class. Nas got classics with Jada. Nas got classics with Jada. Nas got classics with Wu-Tang. Nas got classics with Noriega. Nas has classics with Mobb Deep. Hello? He got classics with Nature. He got classics with Cormega, and he has a fucking song with Dave East. You see the difference? Do you see the difference? When a person like Nasir Jones locks, you just got to be in the A&R game to understand how this works. When a person like Nasir Jones locks into the studio with his artist, it's already predetermined that a classic has to be made. He's not even giving homie that type of consideration. You know what I'm talking about? He's getting throwaway bars. He's getting throwaway bars. You know what I mean? Rhymes that was in the phone that Khalees has. Like, no, that's not classics. He's not giving him classics. He's just like looking out for the nigga. How long are you going to be looking out? That nigga got to do lyrical pull-ups. He got to get in the gym. He got to get in the gym. No bops. No bops, Dave. Dave, no bop East. There's bops in the East, Dave. You didn't get one? My nigga. How is Rob Bass in Harlem making bops and you're not? Look, it's a young nigga in Harlem. What's his name? Fergie. Fergie, baby. Lit. What? Nigga. Lit. Nigga. Murder Mook in what's his name? Loaded Lux. They in Harlem making better music. What are we talking about? Yeah, anyway. You said Dave East's last project is dope. Rightfully so. You know? Rightfully so. You know? But you gotta hold on. Wait a minute. Dave East and Ransom had an album called Final Call. And it was on that album that I was like, damn, I like Dave East. He's holding up with Ransom. You feel me? They had a good chemistry together. I'm not gonna hold you. Ransom was kind of dunking on him a little bit, no look 3-pointers, but you know, Dave was running the ball. He had a few plays and whatnot. I ain't mad at him, but yeah, he was getting dunked on. You feel me? So kudos to his bars. I hope that, you know what I mean, he's gonna see the light. He might need some ayahuasca or something. I don't know. I need him to loosen up. You know what I'm talking about? He needs some shrooms. The weed ain't doing it, sir. You know what I mean? I need my nigga to loosen up. Get a little looser. Get looser in the booth. You know what I mean? I hear a stiff. The flow got too much starch in it. You know, the flow it got too much starch in it. It's too stiff. You know what I mean? That nigga needs to start harmonizing or something. Ain't he a pretty boy? You need to talk to the ladies, David. Take I made about 4 lady songs. That's right. Yeah, I'm officially a lady rapper. Yeah, take a fucking take a clue, sir. You get in your lady bag. Yeah, get in your ladies bag. Start talking to the ladies because the fellas don't want to hear you. Respectfully. The fellas don't want to hear you, sir. You know what I mean? We do not want to hear you. You know? Too bad Ransom is not from New York. I know, right? Joe Budden should be pushing that man. He's such a hater that he won't even get him out there and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? He from Jersey. Jersey. He might need to find Sue Surfing them and link up, because the Jersey dudes is kind of wavy on the battle rap side, you know. You said he got an R&B 90s mixtape. Who? Davies? Say word. Say word. Don't. Nah, don't say that. Don't say that. Man, if I was Davies, I'd do a Spanish hook. You got the Puerto Rican Day Parade coming up. My nigga's not using all of the he's not, I don't know what type of strain he's smoking. His brain is not working. He's not using all of the pieces in his fucking in the puzzle. He's not putting it all together. He is not putting it all together. I promise you. Because he could if he wanted to. You know what I'm talking about? He could if he wanted to. I seen Carmelo last night. I was like, damn, they doing your name crazy, Carmelo. How is the algorithm treating you? You know what I'm saying? The real Carmelo, the OG Carmelo Anthony in the building last night. You know? That's crazy how they playing with his name. How does Dave East have a song with everybody and ruin it? Damn. Let's stop the Dave East talk, because they I know his manager, and I don't want him to think that I'm going in on his artist, man. Shout out to Dave East. But you know how we New Yorkers, so New Yorkers got to keep New Yorkers intact. Yeah, he's smoking them spray packs though. He got to get on some real, you know what I mean? Some hydronic, some shit, some bubonic, some hydronic dro or something. Niggas, they need to go find the Branson with the jars and the purple and let him smoke that and go hang out with go chill with Jada and them niggas. Go do some pull-ups. Go sip on some motherfucking green juice with Styles P in them. You respectfully. Cause you sitting around Fabulous, who is, in my opinion, somewhat of an elite, you know? You sitting around FABO, that should be your best friend. For real, for real. You need to be bosom buddy. You need to be the godfather to his children, my G. Like, real talk. Y'all need to get a crib together, because that's the only one that could save you right now. You're not going to pick up no bars from Jimothy, you know? Fab is super nice. Fab is better than Jay to me. Oh my goodness. Do you know Fab is a Mace and Betta clone? Not to take anything away from him. You know? Fab is nice though. I ain't gonna hold you. It take him a while to put projects out, but Fab is definitely, he's one of them. You know, he's one of them. Jones stepped his bars up. He had better. He became the face of New York. He had better stepped it up. He was a D League rapper. You know what I mean? Now he's in the B leagues or the C leagues and whatnot. He had better. You know what I'm talking about? He lives in the booth. You know? He had better step it up. But yeah, I don't know. Max is home. You know? Max B in his Baggington. Yeah, Summertime Shootout definitely goes crazy. The Soul mixtapes is some of the best Fab ever produced. Oh my goodness. I remember where I was when I listened to them things. That's when he upped his bars, when he got on his grown man. You know what I mean? I respect it. I respect it. But yeah, Max is in his bag, and you know, he already stated how he feel about it. I just feel like that clash is coming soon, man. New York is mad small. They gonna run into each other in the summertime. Gonna be crazy in New York. Yeah, they gonna run into each other. I just hope that they piece it out. You know, I hope they piece it out, because Max is in his bag right now. Go listen to Rob G's new album, Chill Rob G. Chill Rob G. You know? Yeah, we don't want no summertime shootouts, man. New York is insane right now. Hold on. We got to start this one off right, man. We got to start this one off right, man. I ain't even going to hold you. Nah. We going to play the song when we get more people in the building. Let's go into the things, man. We got a lot to talk about. You know, I think he going to wait for the Knicks to win to apologize. He'll humble himself, though. He's definitely going to apologize to the big homie and whatnot. I think he looks up to Big Daddy Kane, and he was just out of pocket, and he knows he was out of pocket. But one of the great things that I love going on right now, respectfully, is the OGs are getting the spotlight in New York City. And that means a lot because there was a long period where they were being eclipsed by the drill movement, by people like Ebro and them let me stop, by some of the program directors and the powers to beef. Like when Diddy was in New York, he was hating on all of the OG rappers. He was hating on them, hard body, to the point where the stories haven't even all come out on how he was blocking the sound and whatnot. And you know, Ebro came in. There was a bunch of people that played a part in, you know, usurping the sound and then only bringing out fucking Little Kim every other. You know what I mean? They act like she's the only OG in New York left. You know what I'm talking about? Face look like Jigsaw. You know what I mean? No. Every time y'all bring Little Kim out, y'all destroy a child's dreams. Respectfully. You know? The fuck? No, the OGs. They need some other. Yeah, let them eat too. Fuck. It's still food out there. We can all eat. I'm just glad that they starting. I'm glad to see the OGs eating. I'm glad to see the OGs and their fan base. I'm 50 years old. You know what I mean? I am a fan of the golden era hip hop artists. I want to grow with them. You know what I mean? I am a fan. I will still go and check for them. Just don't put out too much new stuff and stick to the classics, my nigga. Unless you really got it like that. You know what I'm talking about? Just stick to the classics or, you know, do some remixes. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm there for the whole album or some new shit. I just don't know. You know, the catalog is healthy enough, you know, but it's great to see the OGs eating. Yeah, shout out to Saigon. He definitely was dope. It's great to see the OGs being recognized. It's great to see the bureaucracy of New York City, like the mayor, Mom Donnie, right? Hand on the Quran, Mom Donnie. It's good to see Mom Donnie and them recognizing the pioneers. You know what I mean? We have an administration in New York, a mayoral administration that is very, what's the word? You know, a mayoral bureaucracy that's very, I would say, you know, Mom Donnie used to be a rapper. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, this is that generation that we looking at. You know, this is that generation. Like, if you look at the games and everything, if you look at the games going on, right? If you pay attention to the audience when they have the watch parties and everything. So there's two New Yorks right now. There's the new New York with the hippies and the gentrifiers and everybody that came in that's paying $4,000, $5,000 a month rent. But those are young white people. Those are like young gentrifiers who are like in their 30s, goddamn it, in their 20s. And these are like engineers, they're programmers, because they have something in New York called Silicon Valley. No, Silicon Alley, right? Silicon Alley and whatnot. So there's big tech money in New York, big tech money. It's only second to Silicon Valley. They don't tell you about it, but that's what it is. So there's all of these new people that came into New York. They could afford the new prices in New York and whatnot. So they all up in this bitch. But all of them came up on the music of the OGs from New York. You know, because you know the gentrifier anthem is in New York, concrete jungles. Like that's That's they Star Spangled Banner. Real talk. In New York, the gentrifiers anthem is Empire. What's the shit with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys? Like, that's they shit. Respectfully, we just gotta, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, you know, it is what it is. It's just the way it is. And then the other New York is the New York that was able to stay. That's the old New York. That's people who have generational families in New York. They some of them own property in New York. They've been here from generations, right? Some of them been here since the 20s, shit like that, you know. And those two New Yorks don't necessarily always come together. They have huge cultural differences. You smell me? But like I talked about it before, when I came back from New York about a year or two ago, I was like, yo, I was in Brooklyn, and there's this new thing called blended Brooklyn. You know? There's this new thing called blended Brooklyn. And what blended Brooklyn is Brooklyn is being blended. They're blending the races in the communities are blending with each other. You know, it's but so long that you could live amongst people before y'all start blending. So when I was in New York in the early stages of the gentrification invasion and whatnot, this is like 2016. You know, we was crying because Harlem was becoming gentrified. It was becoming bleached out. It was becoming erased and everything. The gentrifiers had their own lane, and they wasn't really rocking with Negroes and whatnot. And then, you know, but then over the course of time after C19 and a little other things, then you started to see people like partying together. They chilling together. They rocking with each other. They working with each other, working out with each other. Now we got blended Brooklyn. Blended Brooklyn looks like a Asian chick with a septum ring, you know what I'm talking about? Pushing a baby carriage with a young nigga with a shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Blended Brooklyn, you know? So there's blends that you've never seen, but you talk about a melting pot. They got blends in New York that you ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? You said, how am I dissing New York? Because I'm from New York. And I'm not dissing a damn thing about my city. I'm just giving you a perspective about New York. I'm from there. So why would I talk about somewhere that I'm not from? That would be weird. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not from Atlanta, but I'll talk about Atlanta because I've been out here long enough that to the point where I have a perspective. You know what I'm saying? I've been in Atlanta longer than niggas that was born in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta before certain people was even born out this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it can't be a diss if it's facts. It's all facts. But New York has been blended. This finals is gonna blend it even more. Everybody's in the blender right now. It's a social experiment. You know what I mean? We're gonna sit back and you know, take swipes out of the petri dish every now and then. We're gonna check out what's going on and whatnot. We're gonna, you know, but this is definitely an experiment. This is a new form of blending, because when the immigrants arrive, when you see streets in New York, gangs in New York and everything, that was a blending. There was a blending taking place back then. Then in the 1920s, during the Cotton Club era, where our people they was putting on and everything, and the mafia was involved, and people was coming up to Harlem so they could get down and they could dance and everything, right? There was a blending. So then definitely when they began to integrate, so it's just different phases of it, you know, it's just different phases of it. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? We just observing things right now, you know what I mean? We just observing things. This is a social experiment that has never really taken place like this to this extent. So we're just paying attention to everything. But with that mayor, that socialist mayor Mamdani, he's bringing in a lot of the socialist minded, This is like liberals on crack. You know what I mean? This is a new level of liberalism and whatnot. But when you look at the stats, crime is down. You feel me? Crime is down. They just cleared the whole budget of like a few $billion. The budget has been cleared and whatnot. Like there's some moves being made out there, and I don't get into the politics. I don't root for no politician. I know politics is still politics and everything, but energy is energy, and energy never dies and whatnot. So when somebody represents a certain type of energy imprint, and that energy imprint, I could see the results of that, and I could see how it's affecting people both positively or negatively. Yeah, I'm gonna point it out, and I'm gonna speak on it. You have two dichotomies of energy that we could all say that we saw this week, and we could point at it. So there's the energy of Donald J. Trump. He's carrying a funky ass, dirty ass, dark energy with him. Everywhere that he goes, he's the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything that he touched turns to dust. Everything that he touched turns to shit, right? He's walking around with entities and all type of demonic possessions taking place. He's pooping all over the place, falling asleep. You know what I mean? It's just crazy with him. Wherever he goes, war follows. Wherever he goes, death follows. Wherever he goes, gentrifiers. No, not gentrifiers, colonizers. There's a difference between the two. Let's be clear. Wherever he goes, the Romans follow. You understand? He's a spirit cooker. He's part of the Epstein class and whatnot. He's considered to be a flesh eater. So we saw what his presence does in what we would call a homeostasis environment. New York City, Game 3, it was a perfect quote unquote environment. It was a charged up environment. If you put the Schumann resonance on New York City before he came through, it was at its heights and whatnot. The thing was going off the Richter scales, and people were unified, they were electrified, they were charged up, they were magnified, they were just going, they were just in love with the whole moment. Everybody was in a bag and whatnot. He pulls up, they put the goddamn lockdown on the city. Right? They start roping shit off, locking down streets and whatnot, blocking off passages and everything, stopping the energy. Nah, we don't want no watch party outside the garden when the whole energy that's charging up that circular garden and whatnot, that cylinder, the energy that's charging it up is literally people's kinetic energy. The people's kinetic energy charged up that battery and whatnot that is now called Madison Square Garden and whatnot, right? Yes. And him and Cardi B was outside on the same night. That's a recipe for disaster, my geniuses. She's a succubus. And he's a succubus. They both have parasite energy, respectfully. They both know how to drain energy out of a room versus go up in a bitch and light it up and whatnot. If Cardi B walks in a stadium full of young girls and you're full of men and everything, she is going to shift the energy, not in a positive way, especially if her music starts coming on. The motherfuckers start getting possessed. You think it look cute and whatnot, because you might see shorties twerking and everything, but no, there's going to be charges caught that night. Shorties is going to get bit on the neck and whatnot by some of these bed bug ass niggas. You know what I'm talking about? There's going to be violations as a result of her spell casting. Trust. So he's an incubus and she's a succubus. And what did they wind up doing? They sucked all the energy out of the city, not even the stadium. They sucked the energy out of the city to the point where dudes started fighting right at, like immediately they start scrapping. They were scrapping while the Knicks were playing. Niggas in New York was like, nah, they was fighting before the Knicks lost. They was fighting during the night. 90% of that celebrity row is the Epstein class. Well, yeah, that's New York for your ass. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the rich small hats is at. New York is the epicenter of, it's the financial center of this whole thing. So yeah, you damn right, the motherfucker. But the front row, the celebrity row, did not get the Knicks to the chip. Them niggas showed up later on. They showed up when the winning got winning and whatnot. And what does that tell you? That tells you that we don't need nobody, especially no celebrities, to charge our batteries. Yeah, we played it yesterday where they were smudging Madison Square Garden. They smudged the hell out of it. They had to. You know? They had to. So Carmelo Anthony is a Knick. And Carmelo Anthony in Texas is not a Knick, but he's in jail. So what's that about? You know, they had Carmelo is the Knick. Carmelo is the Knick who wears the God Body 7. Carmelo was the one who had Jay-Z wearing the quote unquote the star, the 7 and whatnot at the Knicks game. And everybody was, I think it was the Nets or the Knicks game, when Carmelo let Jay-Z hold his God Body chain, and Jay-Z started, there was all of this hoopla around it and whatnot. Carmelo God Body. Carmelo Anthony is God Body. You feel me? And they named that boy after him. Because young Carmelo was 18. You damn right they named him after Carmelo, the ball player. Huh? So you got Texas and New York. The situation is taking place in Texas. I didn't hear no San Antonio Spurs say shit about it. They ain't have a word to say about it. I haven't heard no Texas athletes tweet about it. And it's like, yo, we gotta talk, man, because the glaring, the disparities are very glaring. It's beginning to stand the F out that Texas, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and motherfucking what else? What's the other one? Florida. The way that they doing black people out there in the judicial system, my nigga, y'all don't have no time to hate on us. Y'all got to deal with them white folks, bro. We dealing with our white folks in New York. You see how we got them, you know what I mean? They not, listen. Yeah, South Carolina, that whole southern, what they call, I don't like to say Chitlin circuit, but that's what they call that shit. They dealing with some shit that they need us. Y'all need to stop acting like New Yorkers is cocky and whatnot. We come down south and told white people SMD to their face. Facts. That's what we do. We go down south and we tell white people, fuck out of here, nigga, and we put hands on them. That's what we do. Because our relationship with the Caucasians in New York is different. They will never have us with our heads down. Talking about yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Nah, that shit is, we don't do that. So when we go down south and we drag our nuts when we go down south and we cause problems, yes. Because when we come down there and we peep how they got y'all living and whatnot, we be like, what the fuck? How y'all mad at us? How are we too cocky and confident? Y'all not confident enough. These people is playing y'all. They playing in your face. You know, the white folks, where we at is what they call liberals. So they play in our face and stab us in our backs. You know, that's what they do. They play in our face. They be smiling and beguiling with us, but they wile us up on a back end. You know, they do put they put people in, but the resilience of New York, if you ever come to New York, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's nobody is tolerating nobody talking crazy. I'm talking about from the babies all the way up to the grandparents. They are putting hands and feet on anything. Asian, Indian, European, it don't matter. We just have a certain way that we carry ourselves where you're not playing with us. You're not going to play with us. I don't care if the whole precinct is right there. It's just a given. They not police out where I'm from. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, yeah, I know why we be getting hated on outside this bitch. And I ain't trying to start no problems with nobody. I'm not even set tripping on some East Coast and all that. I ain't with none of that. I love my brothers and sisters everywhere that I go. But I hate the conditions that our people be in and whatnot and the shit that they tolerate. You feel me? I don't like it. Because they'll give you the ice grill, but they'll yes ma'am, yes sir to these pink toes and whatnot all day. You know? Yeah, I know Dallas and H-Town and all of that. Yeah, I've been out there. There's some warriors out there. There's some warriors out there. The reason why them people got their foot on our people on that, because them is some warriors. Do you know the most recruits from the NFL come out of those same places? Do you know even the most recruits from the U.S. Armed Forces come out of Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas, right? In Texas, in the Deep South. This is where they're getting the sacrificial lambs from. So it's no longer picking cotton. They just picking niggas. And you heard what they said. They putting niggas on chain gangs down there. I don't know. New York, I don't know if they do that in New York. When you lose trial, they sentence you the same day. Where I'm from, they say they give you a sentencing date. They sending dudes up the same day in Memphis. I seen a dude blow trial. He got life the same day. I was like, damn. They cut homie hair off the same day. Like the next day, Carmelo was bald-headed, bro. That means that whenever you cut your hair, that means they shipping you to the big boy, to the pokey. I'm like, damn, they are not playing with them people up there, bro. They are not playing with our young bucks in the South. They shipping them the fuck to the big house immediately. So I could just imagine how many people they've put in purgatory. How many of our young brights, how many Carmelo Anthonys are getting 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80 in these antiquated antebellum southern countries and whatnot? Why is that? And if that's the case, why are the rappers talking about body and shit, selling drugs, pimping, and all of this dumb shit, and y'all don't even have a grip on your motherfucking criminal system? I don't get it. I don't get it. You would think that the shit was relaxed the way that they be criminality, the way that the criminology, the gang culture and everything is spreading down south. You would think that they have shit figured out. They got some Cochrans on deck. No, y'all are getting beheaded every single day. What is it worth? Huh? Like for real. What is it worth? I'm driving through the South. What was it all worth? What did y'all get out of all of that? Where is it at? I'm in Atlanta right now. They got the World Cup coming out here, right? The World Cup and all of these foreigners is coming out of here. I don't see no black people in a position where they built some new stadiums or they built some new type of housing. All of that is them other people. So I'm like, if there's all of this underworld activity going on, if there's all of the criminology taking place, like the crime has almost, because when I came to the South in 1997, the people were not hypnotized by crime like this. They were not hypnotized by criminology like this. It was more New York was a criminology place. It was more so that New Yorkers was hypnotized by criminology back in those days. They were exporting crime. You didn't have niggas from the South going on crime tours. That was a New York thing. They would get on I-95 and go on a crime tour or crime sprees and whatnot. You feel me? But over the past years, after the Jeezy era, everybody become a trapper. This nigga built a trap museum, T.I. They got trap museums to trap niggas, right? So when they started the trap music, that was the beginning of the trap culture. Right? And trap culture is nothing but niggas getting trapped in a system. Facts. They start packing out them goddamn prisons and whatnot in ways that they never had them packed out. You smell me? And it just started getting worse and worse and worse. Then they brought the gangs out to the South. They brought all of the gangs. The New Yorkers brought the gangs. The majority of the blood rappers in Atlanta are blooded in from New York. You know that? It's not a California thing. That's the New York influence that came to Atlanta and turned Young Thug and all of these niggas into Bloods. I remember it. I was out there. I had beef with one of the Bloods from New York, some shit that went back in the days. I'm on Clark Atlanta campus. A nigga that I got beef with popped up. He's a superior in the Bloods. You know what I'm talking about? So it got real out there. They brought that shit to the South. They infected the South with the gang mentality. And then you had, the GDs and everything coming in from the Midwest. And then when Katrina happened, you had all of them New Orleans hitters and whatnot. And they came in and they raised up the murder rate. So it's become a powder keg of criminology all throughout the South. And the artists like Lil Boozy and all of the NBA young boys, all of that Baton Rouge shit that's coming out, coming from Cash Money. No, really, Master P and them started it with Bout It. Because he started telling, I remember when Pastor Troy and them started getting after, they started dissing Master P in 97 and whatnot. But I remember being in Atlanta, 1997, and these niggas was talking about they the ice cream man. I was like, what, Briars? The fuck? Well, what type of ice cream? What was that? Neapolitan? What's the one that's strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla? I'm like, what type of ice cream man are you? And they was like, yeah, I'm selling crack. I'm selling drugs. I'm selling, you know what I mean? I'm a trapper. I'm a dope boy. Because the first rapper, Neapolitan, one of the first rappers to blow up out of the South, out of Atlanta to be specific, was Kilo. Right? Remember Kilo? Right? And that was cool. Yeah, they had that pure Haagen-Dazs, right? And, they had some hustlers here and there. You had pimps here and there. We would go driving down Peachtree, right over there by Visions and whatnot. They had a whole trap with the pimps. The pimps that had their cars parked up. There was like a car wash. They'd be out there with their suits on, with their little whores and everything on the strip. But it was just that. It wasn't everybody was a pimp. They had it was almost like, you go to the zoo, there's different cages with different shit going on and whatnot. That's kind of like how it was. But then when you come back years later, everybody's a pimp. Everybody's Big Meech. Everybody's little Young Jeezy, my nigga. Everybody's a gangbanger. Everybody's a killer. Everybody's Little Dirk. Everybody's King Von. So yeah, they've been affected by criminology all throughout the South. But what has not changed is the motherfucking law. What has not changed is them people set your asses up to fill up them jail cells and put your ass on a chain gang. What has not changed is that the motherfucking private prison stocks is going through the roof. Master P Camp got the Southern family vibe to it. Oh, of course. I would never say that Master P came with a surge of negativity. No, Brian Williams did that. Yeah. Cash Money followed up with a more darker and more sinister type of vibe. Master P was like, that he was like a studio gangster in a sense. He was kind of tiptoeing on it. Even though I'm sure that he had what you would call real niggas around him and whatnot, it still gave studio gangster. But when Juvenile dropped the song Ha, and you saw the visuals of the Magnolia Projects, nigga, I was bought and sold. I was scared. I was like, God damn, these niggas they scary to me. Yeah, Jay Prince with Scarface and all of them. Yeah. You know, I loved Ha. I watched that video about 100 times the first night it came out. You know, I was hypnotized. You feel me? I was hypnotized. You know, because I believed everything that I was hearing that night. When I saw that shit, it was like BT Uncut. Came back from the club. Might have been like 2 a.m. I was with my boy G Young, rest in peace. We was smoking, probably some Reggie, and that shit came on. It was either BET Jams or Uncut. And I was like, oh shit, what the hell is this? It hit me like a bag of dope, you know? And yeah, I was hooked. And yeah, they brought more of a darker sound. They were more believable. You feel me? Yeah, Juvenile's a born hit maker. Cause he was making hits before Ha, right? Before he got down with Baby and them, he was already lit in New Orleans, according to the law. His name was already ringing when they had UNLV back then and all of that. Juvenile was already ringing back down. Yeah. That's you in the big body Benz, huh? So, you know, kudos, shout out to my brothers in the South. I'm only saying what I'm saying because I love my people, man. You know what I mean? I love my brothers and sisters down South, man. I love them to death. These are some of the best hearted people. These are some of the best, quote unquote, spirited people that I've met in my journey. You know what I mean? Some of the women are some of the sweetest, most, you know, caring women. That Southern hospitality is real. You know, that Southern hospitality is real. And I felt that. So I would never talk down, or I would never talk crazy and whatnot. I'm in the South because I love the South. I ain't here because I gotta be here. I'm here because I feel comfortable here. I'm here because I love it here. And I'm here because they want me here. You know? But what I don't want to see, I hate seeing my people crash out. I hate seeing my people get done dirty. I hate seeing my people get 35 years and whatnot. I hate seeing my people getting 80 years and 50 years and 60 years. And literally that's like a death sentence. I just hate that. You know, I really do. A lot of people is getting smacked and they don't deserve to get smacked the way that they smacking them. They smacking men and women. You know, the feds is filled up with shorties on some old like Set It Off. I was watching Set It Off in a barbershop the other day. And when you watch certain movies in hindsight, I think that was Gary Gray. He was like, he was the director on that. That was homie that was making a lot of videos back in the days. I think he did Natural Born Killers with Ice Cube and Dre, Dr. Dre, if my memory serves me correct. But anyway, I'm watching Set It Off with a new set of eyes, and I'm like, God damn, this was the movie that had our women out here starting to gangbang and rob and everything, and, you know, just get into more of the criminology and shit like that. Like, a lot of those movies in the 90s were fucking CIA operations. Shout out to Panic and whatnot, because he was on point when he did the movie, when he did the breakdown on all of those 90s movies and how that shit was an operation. You know, so what do we need right now? We need better movies, y'all. We just can't. We need better movies. Yeah, remember Oz with Out of BC, my nigga, and Lord Jamal and all of them. You know what I'm talking about? Out of BC was out there piping niggas down and all of that, and they had our people. Orange is the New Black, right? They made that shit likable. They made the characters likable, even though it's cool to give them a humanity and whatnot. But yeah, they are normalizing the prison life. And somebody needs to jump in and really reverse that curse, because that thing is real and people are suffering from that. So I'm about to play this video. And once again, I don't want no smoke. I'm not trying to start no problems. I love my brothers and sisters down South. But this brother has a question that he wants to ask and whatnot. So let's go. We could talk about it afterwards.
So much. And what I gathered from the answers is that Southern... So I asked why Southerners hate New York so much. And what I gathered from the answers is that Southerners are sensitive. They don't have tough skin. They don't know how to worry about their own selves. They don't have, like, where they come from doesn't give them any sense of pride.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. First of all, that's a copyright with that fucking song. And my niggas, he's talking pure ignorance. I didn't even see the first part of the video. I just caught the end of it and then grabbed it. Now, we not doing that. We not doing that. Because that's just gonna cause problems. There's no winners in that. You know, for the record, I don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be throwing everybody in that. Y'all all, I don't feel like that. You know, I don't feel like that. We ain't pushing no division over here. You know, however, there is a question that needs to be asked. You know, why? You know what I mean? Why do people hate us? You know? All right. But yeah, let me play this video. And let's get to some things.
In America, right? And Americans don't really want revolution. They want basketball games and they want race wars, right? And it's really tiring living in America because every single day it's just more fucking bullshit, right? And so essentially Rick Chow is not guilty on all counts. And now Carmelo Anthony, you know, is going to go to jail for 35 years because he got jumped, and black people can't defend themselves. They can't run, right? I don't even know if they get the ability to live because, you know, we just send them to prison and force feed them. My only point is that I'm really fucking tired of living in America, right? And I can't imagine how tired black people are because this shit, it never ends, right? And so now we're just watching these old white people talk about like putting this UFC thing, we're making that permanent on the lawn now, and now our government's like making fucking they're working with Dana White to nothing makes sense, right? Like, you don't want a revolution, you want basketball and fucking race wars, right? And when that hits you, it's really fucking sad because we could scare these politicians so easily if we could channel the energy that we like use for games with balls in them. Like, we're adults. What are we doing with these sports? We're adults talking about cage matches for diplomacy and basketball. Like, when are we going to act like fucking adults? Your whole entire country is being taken over by a group of pedophiles, and you're boasting about basketball. I have to remind myself, like, we are adults, right? And obviously we're extremely sick, like, as a society, right? Extremely. And I think we probably deserve to go extinct at this point. But the point is that, you know, Rick Chow can essentially shoot a kid in the back. You have a 14-year-old being treated like a fucking adult. If that was 8 fucking black kids that goddamn jumped a white kid, you know what would happen, right? And you're the problem. I want to strangle you because white people are going to make it about everything else because that's how they maintain supremacy, right? But I want to get in there and just fucking, we're adults, right? And these are kids. These are black kids and we are adults. And now we, like, well, do you see what the white adults are doing at the White House? I'm losing my fucking mind. White men are not acting like adults, right? And so no more old white men. Like, it's very fucking simple. There's no reward for being a good person in this society because we care more about basketball than we do politicians. What did you expect? The law was always supposed to send black kids to jail, and it was supposed to forgive white kids, right? It wasn't even punishable to kill black people up until a certain point. So white people, check your fucking self. All right. My only point is that, you know, I love you if you're trying to be a good person. I got in a huge accident Sunday. My whole life is fucked up, right? Like, it was a hit and run. I'm fucked. But, you know, thanks for being a good person despite all these fucking actual monsters. I love you so much. And stop saying you want a revolution, right? You just want sports. Have a good day.
You're telling me next time the Knicks win the championship, that'll buy about a car?
This is what.
Remember we was talking about this Knicks thing, the 73 and everything, the 1973, how everything is looping and whatnot, right? Let's check this out to put it all into perspective.
New York City was like the last time the Knicks won the NBA championship.
The Twin Towers were just dedicated this year. Gas is 39 cents a gallon. You're telling me next time the Knicks win the championship, that'll buy about a coffee cup's worth of fuel?
Some DJs are cooking up something new over here in the Bronx. They're gonna call it hip-hop.
Computers are finally getting small enough to fit in one room. What do you mean one day everybody's gonna carry one around in their pocket?
The Knicks are champs. The ABA's still around. There ain't no three-point line in the NBA. And you're telling me one day a 7'4" French kid is gonna shoot step-back threes?
My rent's $200 a month. What do you mean that's gonna be my electric bill?
Watergate's all over the news. Nixon's in trouble. Hopefully politics settles down by the next Knicks championship.
So that was the temperature of everything going on, just to put it into perspective. But some weird shit is going on in New York, and I don't want people to overlook what's happening. So this whole thing with the manholes and everything, we were talking about it, I think about 2 weeks ago or maybe a week ago when we were playing the videos about people coming out of manholes. Well, that story now has grown legs. So one of the things that we don't want to happen is we don't want this bread and circus thing to completely eclipse some of the shit that's going on inside of New York City and whatnot. Because of course, while everybody is celebrating and doing what they're doing and whatnot, there's always something taking place on the other side, right? So when the left hand is going off, you got to watch what the right hand is doing. But check this out.
Hey, some extremely bizarre news coming out of New York right now, where 71 Jewish children from a Jewish school have just been rescued from an underground tunnel. Now, this raises a few questions like how is 71 children ended up stranded in an underground tunnel? Hello? Like, if you ask me, we're living in a world right now where there is some crazy things happening and millions of children go missing every single year. So when we're seeing stories like this, where large groups of children, 70 children, and underground systems and tunnels, it raises a few eyebrows, doesn't it? Like, what was actually going on here? I mean, this is definitely one of those stories that makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Like, how does something like this happen? Either way, all of the 71 children have thankfully been rescued, which is the most important thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, this is breaking news right now. 71 Jewish children found stranded in an underground tunnel. Obviously for the sensory reasons, as always though, just for entertainment, I'm as fictional as a dinosaur.
You found 71 Jewish students in an underground tunnel. Hello? That sound Nicholas. Fuck is going on? Talking about, oh yeah, they were on a hike and then somehow ended up in an underground tunnel. And then somebody saw the kids move a groove outside and called the cops. Wait, what the fuck are they doing? What are 71 students all together doing in a tunnel? Oh, hike takes dangerous turn. What the fuck? You'll end up down there on a hike. That's not possible. You can't spawn in underground. It's one of these stories, like, I feel like, let's say it was 71 Muslim students found underground. They would look at that shit as like a fucking terrorist attack. Or at least national news. But nobody talk about anything. I have to find this out on Twitter. What's I mean? 71 students on a hike end up underground. And then we know there's been these dudes that's treating themselves like the fucking Ninja Turtles that's going underground all the time. But now the 71 students, that's a random ad that I have questions.
Some young girls, some kids, they were in the park, they got into the culvert of the creek and they started exploring, and then they ended up not really knowing where they were and they got a little alarmed. As far as I know from the police, I just got here a few minutes ago. As far as I know from the police, everybody's been accounted for. Nobody's missing. They're about to get them all on their buses, take them back home.
Some questions from a logical person with a brain, two eyes, and ears. Where the fuck were the teachers at? What about the bus drivers? And 71 kids all together. Everybody ended up in the sewer tunnel and nobody knew how to get the fuck out. You had to go find them niggas down there. And then, separate side note. How do they have their own, like, paramedic and police team in New York? Like, that's their own shit. Pretty sure provided by tax dollars. Who the fuck else gets this type of privilege or, like, community work service type of thing? Emergency medical services are like, oh, equal treatment. While initially founded to serve specific And you think all of a sudden they changed that? No, they'd still be serving very specifically, and somehow they're probably doing their own investigation into these 71 kids found in a fucking tunnel. Man, this is fucking Mephistophelian. We don't forget. Well, some people do. I don't forget. I'm a hater, not a liar. I'm just saying, I remember when this was found underground. And nothing happened about this. Y'all was just, we were just trying to extend our land, with our synagogue. No, that's not allowed. You can't do that. You can't just start building and doing underground shit. Ruins the structure, integrity of the architecture. And the soiled bed. What the fuck is that? You know how long I've had my bed? Years, probably at this point. It's never looked like that. Ever.
Smelled like death. Children rescued from Central Texas home that smelled like death had never been to school or illiterate. Why are you guys coming after white culture? Again, I'm so glad Trump and judges are out here on doing this, because there's this concentrated attack on white. What do you mean smells like death? You mean smells like white people? Smells like regular white people? I don't get it. What is smells like death? Regular. Y'all need to stop. Let white men smell like death. Let them do what they want to do. Let them fuck their dogs. Let them fuck their children. Let them fuck their animal. Let them eat babies. Like, what is going on? This is white culture. Stop attacking white culture.
Donald Trump's Watergate. That's what members of Congress are saying this morning as the Epstein investigation is ramping up, not slowing down, after it was revealed that Trump officials used the White House Situation Room, where wars are discussed, to wargame and collude with Justice Department officials to protect Donald Trump from a whole host of allegations inside the Epstein files. And now the investigation on Capitol Hill is actually ramping up. Republicans want to hear from the acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. They're demanding his testimony now. Members of Congress are demanding that J.D. Vance testify, the vice president, that Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, testify. They say that this collusion broke and violated the law and was done at the behest of the president, essentially. And many are now calling it Donald Trump's Watergate. It is arguably a cover-up that is worse than Watergate. And if Trump wanted the investigation to die down, well, now anything but is happening after yesterday's release. Big news this morning. Spread the word. Follow for more.
So I've been seeing this online. I haven't mean to address it. And there's been certain Asian people on here. And I know that they do not represent the entire Asian community when I say this. So anyone in the Asian community that's been following what I'm saying, that supports what I'm saying, that supports rights and freedom and just, good vibes for all, this ain't aimed at y'all, so hopefully y'all don't take offense to this. But for those in the Asian community that are going after the black community, y'all need to stop. Okay? Y'all need to stop showing out for crackers, because they are not y'all's friends. Last time I checked, crackers are the only people that have ever dropped an atomic bomb on Japan. They're the only people that have dropped Agent Orange on Vietnam. They're the only people that did the My Lai massacre. And that's just off the top of my head. So, white people are not y'all's friends. They have never been. Crackers have never been y'all's friends. But the black community has had y'all's backs. Like, any rights y'all have is because of the rights that black America fought for. So, y'all need to really recalibrate who's on your side, who's had y'all's backs, and who's y'all's enemies. Because white people are not y'all's friends. They never have been. And unless something major changes with white culture, they're going to keep going and do the same shit they've always been doing. And y'all going to be catching the brunt end of it just along with everyone else that isn't them. So, just let y'all know.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of people are beginning to really wake up to their history. There's a lot of deep diving taking place in the socials like TikTok, YouTube, and everything. And people are popping out, you know what I mean? And they're putting the pieces together. You know what I mean? They're putting the pieces together and whatnot. And they're beginning to ask questions. So I'm gonna just share a few videos to show you where the people are at. They're literally probably where you were at years ago when you were discovering things and putting pieces together. We have the advantage of seeing people go through some of the things that we all went through and whatnot. And we get to we get to somewhat like, we could understand what we're seeing and whatnot. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of people now waking up. Check it out.
This is just my theory. Mind you, my theory. This is not a fact. This is my theory on who really came to America and who really were the slaves. Mind you, theory. Just theory. So we're going to start with the fall of Granada of 1492. January 2nd, the last major Moor kingdom empire, whatever you want to call it, fell in Spain, Granada. Stay with me why all this matters. This really does matter. We're going to move down to March 31st. Mind you, all of this happened in the same year. 1492 was that year. So the Al-Brahma decree of 1492, March 31st, signed by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, ordered all Jews to either convert to Christianity or they had to fucking go, and it is what it is. And I do not agree with that as a whole, but that was what was proposed at the time. So just April, May, June, July. 4 months later, the deadline comes, the expulsion of Jews. July 31st, 1492. The Jews must either convert to Christianity or they must leave. Why? 3 days, y'all. 3 days. Christopher Columbus sails for the freaking Americas, y'all. August 3rd. So in 2 days in a wake up from the Jews having to be expelled out of Spain, Christopher Columbus goes set forth a journey for America. Now, I'm not trying to say this is a fact, but if you put 2 and 2 together, Jews had to leave July 31st. So in 3 days' time, just so happened Christopher Columbus with this massive crew set forth for the Americas. And I want to bring it all together why I wanted to bring up the Moors. Seville, Spain was the last major population of the Moorish religion, of the Moorish faith. They also were the first people to send slaves to America, folks, in 1501. This is documented. Seville, Spain. We have to start asking questions.
I would love to do like a 4-part Moorish. And what I want to do is take a DVD that I did in 2012 and just get it digitized and upload it. It's like 12 hours. You know what I mean? It gives a whole Moorish saga. That story really needs to be told. That story needs to be fleshed out. Now with the with AI and with deep research, you feel me? People could really go deep diving. You could translate some of the books that were written in Castilian Spanish, books that were written in German, books that were written in French. They could all be Arabic books that, they could all be translated using the tools now. And a lot of those books that are inside of these museums and inside of these quote unquote, they're all up in Spain. I know they got a lot of information. You feel me? I know they got a ton of information that our people could use to decode. You feel me? But let's go.
Lies, y'all. When I tell y'all it's so many lies, y'all. When I tell y'all it's so many fucking lies about our history, to the point where I don't know how anybody would ever be able to put it in a book, a movie series, a TV. I don't. When I tell you the whole fabrication of our history is a fucking lie. I go back, I keep going back, and I keep going back and I just keep seeing black, and I keep seeing black, and I keep seeing black. So I'm trying to understand what was this combined effort to just rid us of all types of nobility, to rob us of our history, to just completely just not want the black people to know that we were excellent.
So a lot of people who are on this journey, I feel that they got their journey got interrupted when they were turned away from, doing the research on the Moorish saga because they were forced to choose sides. You know what I mean? You remember those days? And they cut their nose off to spite their face because I promise you, it's almost like putting a puzzle together. If there's a huge part of that puzzle that's not there, then you don't have a complete picture. And when somebody is observing the puzzle from afar, they're going to see holes in the story, or it's not going to be a clear picture. So you can't necessarily think clearly when you're on the path of knowledge of self, because anytime you're on a path of knowledge of self, you're gonna have to deal with history. But the history that Robert Maxwell and them gave you in the books and whatnot, the history that Barnes and Noble is giving you, the history that the Hollywood is giving you is not real history. It's literally like it's almost like if we were viruses, like bugs and whatnot. It's bad code, it's malware. You know what I mean? It is it's a virus. So when you put the pieces together, though, when you start doing the research and you go deep diving and you study and whatnot, it solves so many questions. I remember walking around when I was younger, I had holes in my mind, I had holes in my brain because there was holes in the stories. So because the story was confusing, I was living in a state of confusion. So my reality was Confucius and whatnot, and my interactions were founded in confusion and falsehoods. So what the hell do you think my reality was showing me and whatnot? My perception of who I saw in the mirror was a false one. So my reality was a false one, and I was attracting falseness, But once I was able to put the pieces together, once I was able to connect the dots and whatnot, that's when that's when my reality cleared up. That's when movies started to pop out and they were telling the story. That's when books started appearing to me. That's when white people started to tell their truths and whatnot. And everything began to check out. Everything began to make sense. Everything began to, quote unquote, it was a bridge that my mind could cross over, because prior to that, there was no bridge. Your ass came out of Africa with a bone in your nose 6,000 years ago. You couldn't even speak. You was illiterate. You was goddamn barbaric and whatnot. We civilized you. We uprighted you. We taught you English. We got you right. Thank us. That's how they was hitting us. That's how they hit us. That's what Robert Maxwell and all of them taught us in them school books and whatnot. That's what Sunday school taught us. That's what PBS taught us. That's what Hollywood taught us. Y'all niggas are savages. You're worthless. You contributed nothing to mankind, humanity, and whatnot. You was in jungles and whatnot. We had to whip your ass, kill off half of you, civilize you, put you in chains, put you in motherfucking camps and whatnot, put you on plantations, and y'all should thank us for that. America's 250 in a few days. That's what they selling us. And there's people literally walking around. There's more of us walking around seeing the world like that than there's us walking around seeing the shit for what it really is. You know what I mean? So if you're on the path of enlightenment, what the fuck are you talking about? You belong to this group. You belong to this. Nigga, you in church. If that's the case, you're not on the path of enlightenment. You just traded a religion for some shit in this community, this a pseudo religion. You just trading religions. My nigga, you're just trading religions. You're not on a path of enlightenment. You're not trying to find no truths because you scared of any type of truths that's going to go against your perceived notion of what the fuck the world is, or your worldview according to your little group that you're in, or whatever the fuck your leader guy is, or whatever book they put in your hand and told you that this is the only book worth reading. No, nigga, you in a trap. That's another part of the trap. You're not evolving like that. That's not the path of enlightenment. So fast forward to where we at, there's a thing called FIFA coming up. And FIFA is a great, FIFA is a world game. And we are world beings. We have a world history. We have a global history, right? We have a world view. And our world view is skewered if we only stay in America and we don't travel outside of the borders and whatnot, and we don't know what's going on outside of America, right? So FIFA is coming into America, and boy, oh boy, these devils are already showing their fangs. They are already letting people know how this is going to be. This is not going to be a good FIFA, in my humble opinion. This is not going to be, this ain't going to be something that is going to be one of the best FIFAs. No, not during Trump's reign of terror. Not in the Stephen Miller quote unquote Trump administration. No sirree, Bob. You know what I mean? They already wilding out. Check it out.
Going to be one of the worst World Cups we've ever held in centuries. It hasn't started yet, but a lot has happened. In case you don't know, this is what has happened so far. Omar Artan, recognized as Africa's best referee, was denied entry into the United States at Miami International Airport. He held a diplomatic passport. He was set to become the first Somali to officiate at a World Cup. The reason? Vetting concerns. That's all they said. Vetting concerns. FIFA told him they couldn't do anything about it. They sent him back to Istanbul. The Senegal national team arrived in San Antonio, Texas, and was searched on the airport tarmac, not inside a terminal, on the tarmac. Players were forced to remove their shoes, open every bag, and get scanned with handheld metal detectors right after stepping off the plane. One player had the soles of his feet checked. This would never happen to a European team. The Uzbekistan team pulled up to Econ Stadium in New York for a friendly against the Netherlands. They were forced to hand over their phones, empty their pockets, and go through full-body metal detector scans. A sniffer dog was brought in to inspect their bags laid out on the ground. The Netherlands players walked right past. No screening, nothing. Iran had it worse. Several team members were denied U.S. visas completely. They had to move their training base from Arizona all the way to Tijuana, Mexico. Now they have to commute across the border for every single match and leave the country immediately after. A U.S. official actually said, and I quote, "We will not allow the Iranian team to abuse this system to sneak terrorists into the United States under false pretenses." That's an official statement about a national soccer team. Iraq's star striker, Ayman Hussein, was detained and interrogated for 7 hours at Chicago O'Hare. 7 hours. While the rest of his team cleared immigration just fine, the team photographer was denied entry entirely and sent back home. South Africa's national team was grounded for 24 hours because at least 20 members of their traveling party still didn't have their U.S. visas processed. Their assistant coach, team doctor, head of security, and performance analyst were all left behind. Japan, one of the most organized teams in the world, had to ditch their training site in Monterrey, Mexico, because the pitch was uneven, full of patches of dirt. They had to move twice in 2 days. First from Tigres UANL's facility, then from their backup field, before finally landing at Club Monterrey's ground. This is days before the tournament starts, and the fans, Senegal and Ivory Coast, are on the U.S. travel ban list. Dedicated supporters who traveled to Qatar 2022, who follow their teams everywhere, are now being told they can't come. An Ivory Coast fan leader called it segregation. He said no European country has faced this kind of restriction.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Any black person that feel proud that they doing shit like this, you part of the problem. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So yeah, they're staining the whole spirit of FIFA. The NBA finals, as with all of the it's not perfect, it's bread and circus, but shit, to me it's a better feeling than what the fuck I see going on with this shit. It's gonna be a shit show, and they are going to try their best to make sure teams like Argentina and all of these quote unquote colonizer countries and whatnot get an advantage as they throw off these melanated teams energy, like how Trump did when he came to the game for the Knicks and whatnot. They're trying to usurp that energy. They want to energy harvest the countries that these people come from. They want to energy harvest the teams. They want to energy harvest their fan bases and shit like that. You know what I mean? But look at what they're doing with Haiti, bro.
Changed their uniform for the Winter Olympics, and they're doing the exact same thing for the World Cup. So they made Haiti change their uniform for the Winter Olympics, and they're doing the exact same thing for the World Cup. Breaking: Haiti national team will have to change its uniform for the World Cup. FIFA has asked CETA, the company responsible for the uniform's design, to alter it due to potential political messages. Haiti's jersey features a design of the Battle of Vertières from 1803. The battle was considered decisive for the country's independence following the conflict with France. You can't have black people posting, having images of how they defeated white. See, I've said this, and I hope black people understand this. Haiti is a symbol. Haiti is the first black free country, but not just the free black country. Haiti is the only black nation that violently took its independence. Every other African country or black country around the world was given its independence. Haiti is the only country to violently take its independence. So, because of that, every non-black nation, especially white people, have a point to make. They have to make sure Haiti is never developed. They have to make sure Haiti is a fucking example to every black nation. If you violently take your country back, your future will look exactly like Haiti. Look at Zimbabwe. When Zimbabwe took back all their land, what was the thing that Europeans did, and the World Bank and the rest? They being that they still control Africa, they made sure no other African country dealt with Zimbabwe, and they stopped buying Zimbabwean products. What happened to Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe's economy tanked. Zimbabwe was destroyed. So today, when you talk to any black South African about taking back their country from the whites, the first thing they say is, we don't want our country to end up like Zimbabwe. So they would rap, because they believe if you take it back from the whites, there will be consequences, and the consequences is we will end up like the Zimbabweans. I kid you not. You don't know how many times I've seen that in my comments. But yeah, crazy shit, huh?
Content creators and influencers that they can face deportation during the World Cup. The Trump administration is now issuing a warning to foreign content creators and influencers that they can face deportation during the World Cup if they're coming in on a tourist visa for the purpose of generating content. According to El País, new guidance issued by the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that the administration will be cracking down on individuals on tourist visas who come in for the purpose of making content and, by virtue, generating income. And if you do that and you're caught, you can have your visa canceled and you could be deported, restrictions on future entry, and more. Instead, if you want to be a content creator coming in for the World Cup or for any other reason, you have to get a different type of visa specifically designated for work in the United States, not a tourist visa. But the Trump administration is going to be cracking down on this and will be checking at customs when you enter the airport, specifically looking out for foreign influencers, especially during the next couple weeks as the World Cup kicks off. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see who's deported, if anyone. Spread the word, follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
Yeah, so let's get into this right here. All right. World premiere, world premiere. All right. Let's go, y'all. World premiere. City is lit. Let's get it.
City is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't doubt my city is shit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit. She really legit. My city is lit. My
Shout out to New York. Shout out to the Knicks. Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, Bronx.
My city is lit. My niggas ain't down in my city is shit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit. She really legit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't fired a video clip. They taking a stand. It's pretty as shit. I'm making some bands, giddy and shit. Stick one in one video clip. Video clip. My city is lit. My city is lit. My city legit. My city the lit. My city the yeah. The drip is infectious. We crippin' in Texas. They flippin' for breakfast. Don't slip on the necklace. They told me Miami. I'm looking like Crockett. The city of gods. I look like a prophet. Look at us rocket. Look at our rockets. You look at our pocket. Looking at pockets. Told you to stop.
Let's go.
City is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't down in my city is shit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit. She really legit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't fired a video clip. They taking a stand. It's pretty as shit. I'm making some bands, giddy and shit. Stick one in one video clip. Video clip. My city is lit. My city is lit. My city legit. My city the lit. My city the yeah. The drip is infectious. We crippin' in Texas. They flippin' for breakfast. Don't slip on the necklace. They told me Miami. I'm looking like Crockett. The city of gods. I look like a prophet. Look at us rocket. Look at our rockets. You look at our pocket. Looking at pockets. Told you to sock it. The cookout is poppin'. Brooklyn to Compton. Cookin' to Bompton. Dance with the wolves. Walk with a purpose. Talking to serpent. Walk with the merchants. Walk with the merchants. I'm so Kings County, Beanie versus Bounty, legendary weed gates, hit that Linden and that Powell up. First time we lit that sour up. City is lit, my city is lit. My niggas ain't down in my city is shit. My city is lit, my city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit, she really legit. My city is lit, my city is lit. My niggas ain't fired a video clip. They taking a stand, it's pretty as shit. I'm making some bands, giddy and shit. Stick one in one video clip. My city is lit, my city is lit, my city legit, my city legit.
My city is lit. Black men, black women is rich. We prisonerless. No cuffs on a criminal's wrist. The pinky get lit. Burnt up to a sizzling crisp. Or swimming with fish. Left stranded like a Gilligan ship. My city is lit. All we listen to is Biggie and Kiss. I dribble and swish. Niggas get a metaphysical shift. My city is lit. Poker table with unlimited chips. A digital bricks. Gold on me like an Indian prince.
City is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't down in my city is shit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit. She really legit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't fired a video clip. They taking a stand. It's pretty as shit. I'm making some bands, giddy and shit. Stick one in one video clip. Video clip. My city is lit. My city is lit. My city legit. My city the lit. My city the
We the ones who ain't learned from school. Still put up the convertibles. It's a murder crew who made murder cool. Lizzie bags and them burglar tools. Fuck servitudes, niggas serve the pool. 8 balls in them corner pockets. Holding on a rockets at the corner clockers. At the dawn they chopping every morning shopping. Halls are locked into the lawns of Boston. Get it on and popping every corner robbing. Mary Jane in that China white. Niggas grind at night so they can shine at night. Twist 2 J's, niggas dynamite. Hit 2 ways any time of night. Get their minds to right so they can find their light. This my final night before I find my flight.
City is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't down in my city is shit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't slide with the prettiest bitch. She really is shit. She really legit. My city is lit. My city is lit. My niggas ain't fired a video clip. They taking a stand. It's pretty as shit. I'm making some bands, giddy and shit. Stick one in one video clip. Video clip. My city is lit. My city is lit. My city legit. My city the lit. My city the yeah.
Just came back down from 30, and as a cop, you want to go and be aggressive in the streets? You're wildin'. Like, hush, stupid dickhead. Fuck is wrong with you? And that's self-defense. I'm gonna need that. What you mean? He pushed me 3 different times for no reason. I was standing on the sidewalk. Next thing you know, I thought I was about to get attacked. What? Hush, fuck. Dropped his ass. You not supposed to be no cop. if you don't got hands and you a bitch. You supposed to be in a good mood, cheering with everybody. New York just won. Niggas want to be aggressive. Now look, no, dick can't get knocked. Now that's over. Let's talk about this game. That was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. De'Aaron Fox, you need to be held accountable, my nigga. What the fuck were you thinking? Jesus Christ. You dribble that bitch out. Everybody know you up one. Bro, like dead ass, like, there you go. That's all you had to do. Look at that. They wouldn't been going back. 2-2 to San Antonio. You tweet. Matter of fact, Miss Johnson, you should be fired, my nigga. Call a timeout. The fuck is wrong with you? You see them niggas coming back, and they're right here. I'm confused. Why did y'all just let OG move groove vibe slide unattended to the basket? That niggas wildin'. Next finals victory, though, that may be the only thing that we have as the chance to help this world out and cure of whatever the fuck is going on. There's a lot of fuckery happening. This the only positivity in the world. Play the game really come down to Cat, though, because if he ain't tip this pass, that's the perfect Wemby decoy, backdoor lob, game over, 2-2, they going back to San Antonio. Knicks even got WWE superstar Erica Kirk on her side. What a clutch ending for the Knicks tonight. It's like, damn, I wonder if she celebrated with some sparklers. I know the Falcons is hype as fuck that somebody just took them for the worst blown lead in the fucking world. Because I don't know if we ever gonna see some fuckery like this shit happen again. Yeah? You up 20 with 10 to go? Oh, nah, son. That flight back, silence. If New York gonna want to hang this bitch in a Louvre, they're gonna be like, hey, nah, we need that in the fucking museum. Man, what? Mona who? Mona Lisa, man, fuck her. Got OG right there. You understand what the fuck happened with this? Yo, sleepy ass at the crib, gang. Don't say nothing else. Now, NYPD, if the Knicks win in 5, you know the streets is going to be iniquitous out there. Don't be aggressive. Be happy and celebrate, or else you gonna get your ass beat. That's all I'm saying, son. Just celebrate with everybody. Why you gotta act like you tough? You not tough. You got a badge on, which makes you think that you tough, and then gives you these ridiculous rights. That's self-defense. Knocked in the next week.
A little follow-up on Carmelo Anthony's case. Keep y'all in the know. All right. Let's check it out.
Secret Service Sam here for the Carmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf trial update. It seems Jeff Metcalf, when he got on a TikTok live, just completely exposed himself, and it's disgusting language, but I just want you guys to see this so you can see who he is, who the family is, and to not accept him saying he's not a racist. Look at what he says.
The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. He's the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you?
So you can see there, he calls him a watermelon felon. It just didn't take long for his racism to spill out of himself. And you'll notice in all these videos he's putting out, he's not crying at all. He doesn't seem that emotional about what happened. I would imagine as a father, I wouldn't be able to get on TikTok live and talk all this trash without getting visibly crying. But he keeps going on.
So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat. Works for you? Hey, man, that's your gift.
Shout out to Original Black God. And, you know, it's like the war that we're fighting is one of ignorance, right? And it's all good. Everybody has the right to be ignorant. Like, for real. You cannot force intelligence on nobody. But when you really sit back and see what's going on, it should even invigorate you more to support anybody that's trying their best to put your story out there and to clear up the confusion and to bring some type of truth into the game. Because real talk, like, people are going to stand on their lies till they die. They're going to die on that hill. Our job in life is not to convince white people that they're $5 Indians. Our job is not to convince white people that they're the aliens. Our job is not to convince white people that they've been lying the whole fucking time and that they've been lied to themselves. You know what I mean? Respectfully. You know what I mean? I tell all of my white friends all of the time, you know what I'm saying? Do you know how much you've been lied to? Do you know how much you've been deceived and whatnot? Do you know how much you've been tricked? You know? So my job and my purpose and what I'm really focusing on is to educate our people, no one else. Because everybody else, they'll get it when they need to get it. But our people need a foundation. They real talk, like intellect is like a weapon. Intelligence is like a weapon. Consciousness is a weapon. So my job is to assist my people in as much of a weaponized state as I can, to weaponize them with the truth, to weaponize them with rebuttals when they hear stupid shit like this, right? But in a room full of people that don't know, they'll let this person just keep talking and won't have no get back. They won't got no pushback, no rebuttal. They won't be able to they won't be able to smack that shit down immediately. You know what I mean? But those of us who are studying we'll dog walk this stupid shit.
Okay, cool. Doesn't bother me until you bring it in my lane. You bring your shit in my lane, I'm gonna run your fucking ass over. You understand that? Don't underestimate old man.
This is all appalling to me. That sounds like something that Triple K used to say back in the day. And I'm not surprised at all. But I want to let you guys know my mission is to expose all of their secrets. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world.
What is he calling us out? Secret Service Sam? I'm assuming this dude might have been Secret Service. Maybe.
Secret Service Sam.
Secret Service Sam. Let's check this out too about the Opus Dei. All right. Check this out.
Would a 2,000-year-old church built?
Because these are the institutions that have created the people that we're seeing. Like it's not just it's the judges, it's the DAs, it's these parents that are raising these children to be more ignorant than them. But it's a part of a system, and the system has tentacles. It's very deep. It's what they call the cathedral and whatnot. The system is almost like, you know, it's a conglomerate. It's layers to it. You know, Dr. Neely Fuller and many other scholars break it down to it. You know, they break it down. But this dude right here, he's been doing research. I've been playing him on the show and whatnot, and his research is respectful. You know what I mean? So check it out.
Why would a 2,000-year-old church built on a gospel of poverty hand total independence to a group that stands against everything it teaches? And why would it gut a 400-year-old tradition, the devil's advocate, just to fast-track the sainthood of that group's founder in record time? Most people assume Opus Dei is a religious order, placing them alongside the Jesuits or Benedictines. They aren't. Traditional orders serve the poor. Opus Dei recruits the powerful. They don't serve a flock. They harvest the shepherds, teaching them to wield influence, shape policy, and impose their agenda on the population. And to do this, they needed a shield, the absolute legitimacy only the church could provide. And when their members meet with their priests, it isn't a traditional confession. Former members describe these as accountability sessions, focused on professional and recruitment goals. They're not there to repent. They're there to ensure their professional ambitions stay on track. The priests aren't there to guide them toward humility. They're there to sanctify their power and call it God's will. In 1982, the Vatican was caught in a $1.3 billion criminal scandal. Robert Calvi, God's banker, was the primary middleman for the Vatican's secret money, the Mafia, and P2, a clandestine shadow government that had infiltrated Italy's elite. As his bank collapsed, Calvi signaled he'd expose the entire network if he wasn't saved. He was found hanging from a London bridge with bricks in his pockets. His widow later revealed he was in London to negotiate a deal where Opus Dei would take on the Vatican Bank's debts. He was killed before the deal was done. That same year, John Paul II gave Opus Dei what no organization had received in 2,000 years, a personal prelature, a shadow diocese accountable to no bishop. 55 of 56 Spanish bishops, those who knew Opus Dei best, opposed it. The Pope overruled them all. The Vatican denied everything. In 1983, John Paul II gutted the devil's advocate. With that office gone, witnesses who opposed Escriva weren't called. He was made a saint in just 27 years, the fastest in modern history. They secured a prelature that placed them above church law, and a saint who placed their founder beyond question. The shepherds they harvested are now sitting on the Supreme Court, writing the policy agenda, and running the machinery of the federal government through initiatives like Project 2025. In Part 12H, we follow the money and show you what the Vatican was so desperate to hide. Hit follow and share this video before the algorithm buries it.
Now, I came across this video that was interesting, and it was talking about the rapper Lotto. And I don't really listen to Lotto's music, you know, but I do remember coming across a video before where she was explaining that she didn't know what mulatto was, because, you know, she first came out and her name was Mulatto. And then she tried to play somewhat of I ain't gonna say ignorant, but she tried to play dumb. And they were like, you need to change your name. And she was like, I didn't even know what lotto mean. And I was like, I was listening to her and I was like, is that a black scent? You feel me? Like, does this girl literally have a black scent? And as I heard her, and then I saw, and I started seeing other people who look like her talk. And when they try to talk, they had the same type of tonality in their voice and whatnot, like black scent, like what's the girl Travis Barker daughter, Alabama Barker, and things like, you know what I mean? Like there's this whole trend with these white girls that be having like finger waves and whatnot, or like baby hair and the lip fillers, and they have a black scent, you know what I mean? They got black scent, you know what I mean? So I seen this video and it was interesting because the girl was kind of calling her out on her black scent. So I don't want to start no trouble with nobody. You know, I just figured that it would be a good question that she raised, and maybe, you know, maybe y'all can answer it.
Who has white mom syndrome? Bad enough she's doesn't even fuck with her dad, and he's probably anti-black too, but that's another conversation. I mean, if you let your daughter call herself a slur, I don't know. But yeah, Lotto has white mom syndrome, which a lot of biracials have. A lot of the mixies have. And this is the dichotomy of, oh, I have a white mom, however, I exist in a black body. And in Lotto's case, she benefits from colorism, fetishizes dark-skinned men, but in turn wants to be perceived as if she is from the hood, so she could create this false proximity to black people and the black people around her. So she doesn't have to have the I'm too black for the black people, for the white people, and I'm too white for the black people conversation. So in order for her to eliminate that conversation, she rather create this false proximity to the black people around her, specifically the monoracial black people who are unambiguously black and who exist in these spaces, grew up in these spaces, and do not have to cosplay being from these spaces.
No, I only play that because I know that the girl has influence over the youth. You know, a lot of the youngins and whatnot are tapped into her conversation and how she's, you know, how she popping it. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? People are going through their identity crises, and that's not a crime. You know, that's not a crime. You know, it isn't a crime. It's a reality in America that these children that come out of these households where they have two bosoms in their chest and whatnot, they've been seen to be in somewhat of a dichotomy. It's almost like a quagmire, you know. But yeah, she was just calling that out and pointing that out. I picked up on the black scent. And I'm like, damn, why, you know, what's all of that? You just speak your regular tone. Like, what the fuck? Why you gotta Why you gotta sound ignorant? You know what I mean? Why you gotta try to sound like that? You know what I mean? Like you're performing. It's too performative, you know? But what do I know? You know, what do I know? All I know is that shit is kind of non-authentic. You know what I mean? I think authenticity beats all of that fake shit any day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna play one more video, and this is a video of the Metcalf twins' father. You know, the Metcalf is the kid Austin. They got bodied, got turned into a pack by Carmelo. And the father, as we played a clip earlier, he's been spewing his racism and whatnot. I guess now that the case is over, he feels that it's okay to start his campaign of rebel rousing and, you know, ignorance and whatnot. So, yeah, let me play this right here and we'll be right back.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSend Go money. You are grifters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child, and I swear to God, CPS should come check on those other 3 that you still have.
No, you Neanderthal wildebeest. CPS should take your kids, but one of them funky twins already meeting Charlie Kirk. See, that man is emboldened to talk how he talks because he knows what the black community is, and I'll get to that, but let's talk about what he talked about. On that video, he violated a mom and dad who also just lost their sons, because we know the court systems are not going to let Carmelo out after 17 years. He's going to do the full 35, but let's get involved with much deeper rhetoric. He's talking about GoFundMes as if the Neanderthal community don't live on GoFundMes. 80% of Neanderthal people are government assistant babies. Do not let these wildebeests, these pilgrim snow roaches ever lie to you great, beautiful, melanated people. It's unfortunate celebrities like a Deion Sanders, LeBron James, they're not going to talk about this. You need a beautiful king like me. Go ahead and follow me right quick and hit the like button. I say the shit your pastor's afraid to say. Your funky ass mama and daddy would never say. All of your favorite YouTubers put together would never have the energy I have. Guess what I have? I have the same shit you people have that God gave us. But a lot of us are cowards. I'm a man of my word. I told my kids, anything that shall come over you, don't sit down and pray and wait for God. Go handle it yourself like a man should. I'm not on my knees, Jeff Metcalf. You are a piece of shit. You abused your wife for how much years? You were never there for your Neanderthal brute sons. Your sons are a savage, and it's not a tragedy what happened to that piece of shit named Austin. Factual. This is God-bodied, and I believe more of that should educational purpose occur for any fucking Neanderthal that think you can play with God's people. See, I keep telling you black people, no matter how much justice these Neanderthal pilgrims can keep getting, it's never enough for them. They need to see you obsolete. You don't understand this is a spiritual warfare. You cannot go to a brute animal and speak forgiveness, hug, and all this extra bullshit rhetoric that done put you motherfuckers into the hands of masters when we're the real masters. You have to match energy with the devil. You have to go blow for blow with the devil. The devil only knows only one thing, and that's violence. Violence begets violence, but violence has to meet violence. All this praying shit you people do, who has saved you? Ain't no superhero coming to save you, Negro. Wake up. You have all the superhero powers that Superman have, but your shit ain't activated. It's deactivated because you suck on that Neanderthal too much, and you worship that Neanderthal. Your celebrities are nothing. Stop worrying about your celebrities. They're scary cowards who tap dance for the dollar. Right now, Shador has yet to say anything about the 8th grader or Carmelo Anthony, and it's not just dumb, they don't give a fuck. Stop thinking this Neanderthal is the only thing that can do all these great works of God. Last time I checked, they said it's so easy, a caveman can do it. So what's stopping you Negroes from doing what we're meant to do, what we're prophesized to do? We are some warriors, bro. Look how hard we go at each other. Imagine if we looked at them and go hard at them.
Just for the record, because I know some people, they're getting a little, oh my goodness, he's taking it too far. Not really. You know, he's matching energy. The father has a damn near 2-hour racist rant on the internet right now. Factory. He's going crazy with the racism. So, you know,
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cop.
let's look at this. Let's see. He called Carmelo watermelon felon, right? The father is basically showing the hand of his sons, you know, how they really were raised and what they really was on type shit.
More melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit. Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or a race or.
And I wouldn't even be triggered by no stupid shit like that. This is literally a Fox 5 conversation. This is a MAGA talk. This is a MAGA TED talk. You know, this is just QAnon, 4chan, 8chan, and all of that. Basically without the anonymous blacked out screen and whatnot. That's with the camera on. So if they feel like that, it's on them. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the ignorance. You see the false narrative that they always turn to. You see the malware that they're running off of. Do you see the quote unquote viruses that are that powers them? Right? They have a skewed they have a skewed history of who the fuck we are. Right? The fact that we raised them up and wiped them and cleaned them up and do all of these things, and the fact that they are aliens, and the fact that they came over here and spread pestilence and all type of shit, and that they were the slaves. I can't wait. I can't wait to that day, to that 3-hour movie, to the movie premiere when we on the red carpet. You know what I'm talking about? And we chimping out on the red carpet, and we have a world premiere of the equivalent of what they called the that movie that came out in 1915 and whatnot, that shook the whole world and whatnot. What was that called? Birth of a Nation? Yeah. Well, when we come out with the golden age of the Moors epic, or something that's going to literally put us out there, put our story out there, not that, shout out to Black Panther, but something that's a little more darker, something that's a little more realer, something that's a little more melanated friendly, with no white savior. Yeah, I can't wait to that day. We need to hurry up and make that a possibility. But while we wait, individuals like the Met class father. Now, I can understand the father because he lost a son. So a father that loses a son and whatnot, they grieve different. You know what I'm talking about? They're going to be ignorant. They're going to get in their bag. He might get in his bag. I'm not excusing it, but I understand it, right? But what the hell does Jake 1080 got to do with this? All of these people that we've been letting in the culture, I said it before, it even goes all the way to academics, but definitely Jake 1080, he's a pack, Adam 22, which is Adam 12, Vlad and the whole crew, Trap Lord Ross, Neon, the streamers, Aiden Ross and all of them, pack them up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they all enemies of the culture.
Now this called bizarre.
Carmelo Anthony got absolutely smoked in court and hit with 35 years for the stabbing murder of Austin Metcalf.
Absolutely smoked in court. That's what he said.
It ain't safe for none of you white folks to come out this weekend. I'm giving y'all a fair warning right now.
Realistically, I don't think anybody's gonna do shit.
Say, bro, when the white people stop being scared of us? We gotta install that fear back in them, dog. They starting to walk their dogs at 2 and 3 in the morning and they think sweet.
But I want to show y'all this case. See, Michael's soft ass was yelling at a woman when Marquise walked up and pushed Michael to the ground. Michael pulled out a gun, shot, and killed Marquise. Well, Michael's dumb ass just got hit with 20 years because you can't kill for pushing.
You sitting there talking about a white boy who was already in the wrong, going off on a woman, and a black man came to defend that woman, and he pushed him, and he killed him. This not the same thing. Carmelo was sitting down minding his business. He wasn't some white boy picking on a female. You understand what I'm saying? He was minding his business when these two big bully-ass white boys came approached him. is wrong with you, Opie?
So as far as Carmelo Anthony goes, he'll be all right. He can parole in 17 and a half years. He'll be in his 30s. He likes playing with knives. He'll do well in prison.
See, bro, this what I'm talking about, dog. Like, it's people like this little Paul Wall looking right here. Look at him, dog. Big neck ass. Say, bro, know what kills me, dog, about people, bro? Like, all these white people with these big platforms, they only cover black people. Like, it's just amazing how you bitches be trying to disrespect us when all y'all bitches, y'all eating off us. But it ain't y'all fault. You know what I'm saying? White people gonna be white. You only doing what you was taught. Your people been stealing from my people for the longest, so you only doing what your family been doing our whole life.
I want to hear from his parents. I want to hear from Carmelo's parents, respectfully, right? Before we hear from his parents, let me just share something. This is what we don't need to be doing, right? I don't know what exactly everybody should be doing, but we don't need to be doing this. Like, I don't know. I know that when I know that the break dancers, they used to dance against each other instead of, that's how break dancing started. Like, black people had beef and they started dancing. They had like dance offs. That's where you get the movie Electric Boogie and everything from. But this ain't the way, fam. I mean, what is he doing? Fuck is this? Ricky, what is this, Ricky? What is this? This is what happened with George Floyd when they were twerking and whatnot. Yes, is this Beat It? Is this a cutaway scene in Beat It? Look at Shorty in the back from Carbon Nation. Look at Shorty in the back. Are they spirit cooking? Like, I don't know. Are they putting them in a bag or something? I'm not. Yeah. Just stay away from these people if this is all you finna be doing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Tell us, who is he? What kind of person is he? What kind of son is he at home?
He is a wonderful son. He's a wonderful student.
3.7 GPA, work 2 jobs.
He's actually taking online classes during all of this and still held a great GPA going through this traumatic.
Best thing I could tell mama is that he alive. You understand? There is a second chance because he has his life. Even though he's going to be away from you for a little while until the appeal kicks in, your son has his life. You feel me? He has his life. I don't like to see this, man. A mother crying like that, she is touching my soul right now. However, it's all gonna be okay. God is on that young man's side because literally he basically preserved his life. He protected himself and he will be rewarded for that. He's just going through these trials and tribulations as every black man. As every black man has. We be going through a lot of shit. You feel me? And Carmelo is just an example of the rites of passage that so many of us have been going through and still are going through. Shit ain't easy. And we got women, mothers, wives, and aunties and all of that, daughters crying over us every single day. But this is just a glimpse, ladies and gentlemen, of what this shit look like. They don't want to show you the ugly side. They don't want to show you the side. They just want to show you the glitz and the glamours and all of the other stuff. But they not showing you this side when mamas is crying. Because even with the Carmelo situation, it's unfortunate, but there is a situation going on in our neighborhoods where black mothers are going through it every other day, and their children have fallen into the hands of other children that look like them and whatnot. And they're not getting the type of media attention and compassion from black people, like when a child is involved in something and there's another race involved, like the Mr. Child and whatnot with Cyrus or with Carmelo. But when it's black on black, these mothers don't even have the community to console them like that. They don't get the type of press. We got to wait for something to happen between the races and tippy toe on that race riot or that race war, tightrope and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah. For Juneteenth, we're gonna be doing something in Atlanta with the promoters of Juneteenth. We're gonna be doing something dealing with the rise of violence and whatnot. We'll be in Piedmont Park, the very place where a young melanated teenager at the age of 16 lost her life on 404 Day. We're gonna go back into Piedmont Park for Juneteenth, and we're going to raise the vibrations, and we're gonna bring some parents on stage to talk to the audience. And we're also going to make sure the vibration through the music is going to complement healing and high frequencies and whatnot, you know? So yeah, let's go back to the mama.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're saying that as you were watching the trial, as you were in there, you know, you didn't want to question the process. You wanted to let it play out. But was there at any point that you felt the outcome was heading in this direction?
No. Everybody lied. One girl made up a lie, said it was over a race. That my son just walked up. This is how crazy this is.
Yeah.
One girl sat on the stand and said, yeah, he just walked up to him and said, what, you want to race? It didn't even make sense. Then they asked her, did you lie? She was like, on the stand. Even when the one kid who was the corporate of all this, meaning the kid who invited him to the tent, he lied on the stand and said he didn't even know him. And they had pictures with his grandmother. With his grandmother. Like, here's your grandmother, my son, your grandmother. Their whole family got multiple time, played basketball together, all kind of different things. And
I mean, all of the witnesses' statements and stories were inconsistent. So we thinking that the jury is going to notice that. But they already had their mind made up when they sat in that courtroom. Their mind was made up already.
How big of a role do you guys believe that race played into how this case was publicly viewed and how this outcome, this sentence was handed down?
It played a big part. Race, politics, all that. I'm like, man, the kid don't even vote. How he got into the fight? It was a lady talking about the left side and the right side. Like, what? These are kids. They put I feel like you had a certain group that of course, they go blame us, that strategically made this about this because they knew they could do that smear campaign. Like they said, we went and bought a new car and house.
Yeah.
And it hurt with me without my people. My people really believed instead of them going and doing their proper research. They had people really bashing us. I'm like, y'all really believe that? Who could buy a house in 4 days? Buy a house in 4 days. They said we was doing on extravagant trips. It's a lot of things that they did to us that just,
I'm so glad that they getting to clear their name, because boy, oh boy, you know how our people are. They didn't waste no time. I think I might have even repeated a sentiment that I heard, not knowing the truth of it and whatnot. I didn't verify, and I said, yeah, I heard, I was going off of shit that I heard as well. So I know that they were being slandered, and there was all type of propaganda going out on them to, because our people deal with a spiritual power that's unmatched and whatnot. But the minute we withdraw our spiritual power, when we feel like something is fishy and shit, you lose favor. You know what I mean? It could be detrimental and whatnot. So a lot of black people started removing their cover, right? They started removing their favor from the young man and whatnot. when these lies were coming out. You know what I mean? Even though homie is trying to help out Charleston White, you know, he hurt the family in the beginning. He was hurting the family with some of his antics and things of that nature. He's even on film apologizing to the father for telling the father to get a white lawyer and whatnot because of the town that they were in. So there was a lot of BS going on. I'm gonna play a video of the young lad. You know what I mean? I want to humanize him. I don't want nobody to be triggered and whatnot, but I want to humanize him. So I'm gonna play a clip of Carmelo. Give me 1 minute. They got this boy seeming like he's this murderer, animal.
I can tell, like, talking to you right now, like, you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're like, no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
To the right, maybe. A little more to the right. See the TV at least.
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so a little more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, could you just move, bro? Please.
No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay, move, but
I don't mean to be a
but I know, but you ain't talking like that. No, I'm saying this is my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro.
Hey, we're good.
I believe this is the video where they were showing everybody in the jury, and it was wild grainy. I think this is the video where it went down at. You said that ain't Carmelo? Who is that then?
Fine. You're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
To the right, maybe. A little more to the right. See the TV at least.
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so a little more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, could you just move, bro? Please.
No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay, move, but
I don't mean to be a
but I know, but you ain't talking like that. No, I'm saying this is my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move?
Melanated men in these places like this, right? Melanated men, athletes, like we all know somebody like that. These athletes and whatnot who be in these white spaces, you know, y'all gotta move a little more with a little more conviction. You feel me? Y'all have to move with a little more conviction because it's been you know, it's kind of apparent that y'all sometimes are in danger and don't even realize it. You know, you're around people who you give this open trust to just because of your, you know, your athleticism and stuff like that, but they literally can't stand you. You know what I'm saying? They women is choosing on you, you know, athletically, you may be more superior. So there's all type of plays going on that you might not even realize, and they want you to crash out.
You can see 4 boys walk up to Carmelo, who's under the tent minding his business. Now there was 4 boys and a few others, he said. A couple of the others were distracting the coach while they jumped Carmelo. He said it was really in the rain delay. The twins and a few of their buddies, 4 of them and 3 other ones, one distracted the coach and they surrounded Carmelo. A few seconds later, they jumped him. Austin pushed him. The twins were in the middle. They were all jumping Carmelo. Hunter said Carmelo threw his bag. That is not true. Hunter grabbed his bag, but it shows they threw his bag away. And under Texas law, you just have to fear for your life.
Did you say I put a random video up acting like that's Carmelo? He. The fuck you talking about? Did you just hear him saying this is the video? The fuck?
I can tell, like, talking to you right now, like, you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're like, no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight.
I mean, I'm guessing this is it. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, but that's what homie said. Look.
And see 4 boys walk up to Carmelo, who's under the tent minding his business. Now there was 4 boys and a few others, he said. A couple of the others were distracting the coach while they jumped Carmelo. He said it was really in the rain. They start hitting Carmelo. Carmelo tried to get away, but Austin pulls him in by the hoodie, he says, and they pulled him back under the tent. Austin then put him in a headlock. Carmelo got away, and then you see Austin grab his chest. But all the stuff about Hunter rendering aid, holding the blood in, was a lie, because he says the coach grabbed him away and pulled him out of the scene.
Here's the black dude.
All that stuff about him rendering aid and holding his heart, and not, he never did that because the coach grabbed him and he was holding him. So at the end of the day, that's kind of where the moment went. But they did assault him, and we'll just play the game. Even if it was just a push, you still assaulted him because it was unwanted. By your own definition in your word of him saying that leave me alone and I'm not going, you assaulted him, period. But they did beat him. And if you look at the, not the photo that Fox 4 put out, because that was one that they actually edited. I have the emails to prove it. But the actual Collin County one, you can see the webs and stuff on his eye. You can see the bridge of his nose is swollen. You can see the webs under his neck. And so that's the reason why they edited the one from Fox and kind of airbrushed it. And you can see they put the locks of his hair that got taken out as well.
Yeah, so, propaganda is propaganda. Yeah, the twins are like Shaq. Yeah, Carmelo was small, 135, and the Metcalf twins. It's twins. It's 2 of them. I believe they were some big ass 200 pounders, 6 feet, I believe. You know what I mean? The big country boys. So yeah, they were whooping on him. You know what I mean? They was whooping on the boy. And they're hiding the tape. They don't want the public to see it, as with every other tape that they hide from people. But that's just to give you some insight as to what is going on and how he could be eligible for this appeal. Everybody is basically weighing in or hoping for this appeal to take place. You know what I mean? So he could get his justice in another in a court of his peers, right? A jury of his peers.
Of Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony was involved in an altercation in Texas with 2 young white boys, and he stabbed one of the white boys. But number one, his brother is going to have to live with that. Love that for them, because he knows the truth. He knows exactly what happened that day. He knows exactly how his brother antagonized that young black man. He would still be alive and he wouldn't have died in his arms. So guilt, that eats away at them. Something I don't think this is going to end well for them or their bloodlines. I remember his GoFundMe was shut down. And I felt like the black community should have absolutely tore shit off the hinges. I don't care if he did it or not, because they pay for everybody who we know are guilty. Then we find out it's an all-white jury. We had already braced ourselves. 3 days they picked the jury. 3 hours they came back with a verdict. 35 years is what they gave him. How long will you continue to allow them to be put in danger by sending them into hostile territory? Son's gotta be D1, plays all states. Okay. The last baby we should have lost was Emmett Till. After that, they should have known better. Because you continue to send them to school when you know that it's not a safe place for them to be. Behind enemy lines. I don't have children and I see what the problem is. Well, Tangi, I gotta work all day and what am I supposed to do with them? If it ain't one thing black people do, we gonna find a way. We gonna figure it out. There's so many teachers out of work right now. You could have all of y'all pulled together and give her the money and she teaches y'all children. 10 people to a teacher. Convenient for you to just put them on the bus and just send them. If you can't take care of your children, stop having them. You keep sending them to school in an unsafe environment and they're not learning anything. They're actually stupid. That's the definition of insanity in itself. So something has to change. Bring back a standard of excellence. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. There are other people that are in your situation that have figured it out. You are not on an island by yourself. But what you are is a parent that continues to put their child in harm's way and then expecting white people to do right by them, to do good by them. And then if something happens, you expect them to apologize or make it right, and they won't. Who's wrong here? If you don't have access to my babies, I don't think you can harm them. Let's take away as many ways as possible. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm trying to come up with solutions. Y'all need to go for the appeal. You need to put money on his books. We need to make sure he team up with some people in there and he's safe. He's your whole entire life now. You have no other experience other than jail now. He's gonna need the whole entire community around him. Going forward, y'all need to take y'all fucking children out them goddamn schools from around them goddamn white people. For self-defense, because no one else can prove to me otherwise that it wasn't. It was 2 against 1 at a minimum. We are more powerful than them spiritually. Go get that ass back.
Dr. Jawaza Kunchufu has a book about the conspiracy to destroy Black boys. And it's typically society starts to pull away from them. Imagine being so cute and then suddenly so threatening.
Yeah. George Stinney Jr. in 1944 was wrongfully convicted and executed at the age of 14. He's actually the youngest person to be put to death in the 20th century in the U.S. Emmett Till, also 14 in 1955, was abducted, tortured, disfigured, and unalived after allegedly whistling at a white woman. Trayvon Martin, age 17 in 2012, was unalived while walking home from the store by a neighborhood watchman who assumed or claimed he thought he was a threat. Tamir Rice, age 12 in 2014, was fatally shot by a police officer while holding a toy gun. It's incredibly sad that even though all 4 of these boys lived in different eras, different times, different locations, they all experienced the same outcome based off being seen as a threat.
As to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, 4-person, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Court, the official verdict and the verdict of the entire jury. Thank you.
My children are Black. I have a level of defense that millions of mothers have that aren't white. You know, I have an understanding of how scary it is, and I just get really emotional because I think of hundreds of years of women who've never been able to relax into motherhood. They've never been able to relax.
Worried about their kids.
Yes, in a way that we as white women have not had to worry. You worry about other things, but if you really, really, really take a minute and think about hundreds of years of mothers not being able to enjoy freely the birth of a child, their son becoming a young man, all of those things represent fear and loss from the day that they're born.
The sad truth is, growing up as a Black boy in America, you're oftentimes seen as a threat before you're seen as a child.
I think there's a time in which Black boys they're really cute from kindergarten to 4th grade. And actually,
So yeah, we're gonna end it on that. Part 3 to countering the conspiracy to destroy Black children will be loading up. This is a part of my Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah build-up. We'll be doing that at the end of the month, I believe. I think it's the 28th. We'll be doing Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah 44. And yeah, we just putting everything out there, you know what I mean? So we could have this conversation. This is a conversation that's gonna have a lot of solutions in it. We're not just gonna be talking. You know what I'm saying? It's solution time. For all of the parents that are out there, I need y'all to tap in. Let's get serious about this. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so with that being said, yeah, and the question remains, in this situation where melanated people moved out into a white neighborhood to basically give their child a better life, right? This is I believe both of the parents are like upper middle class or maybe upper. And you know, we have all of this, there's thought pieces going on, right? There's people that are like, yo, we shouldn't be moving into these neighborhoods out the hood and into these white spaces and whatnot, putting these children into these schools and whatnot, where they're the only child, the only melanated child, the only chocolate child, the only indigenous, the only Moorish child amongst these Europeans who historically, you know, for people who have been in those spaces and whatnot, they don't have many great things to say about it in hindsight. You know what I mean? When they look back, they be like, shit, I would rather been around my own, even with the challenges that you have to face of bullying and other little things that are going on when you around your children and when kids are around black kids, it just hit a little bit different when you throw a black child in an all white space. You feel me? It's a little different. They fighting through a little bit of a different type of challenge and an uphill challenge, especially if they don't know themselves, you know? So with that being said, we'll talk about that. That is just a question and we're open-ended and we'll get to that. We'll build on it. You said it's all black suburbs in Metro Atlanta. It is. It is, there's suburbs all around Atlanta, Cobb County, Gwinnett, Smyrna, stuff like that. Some of these children, because of the music and the impact of the music and whatnot, and the impact of the culture, they got children gangbanging. Like the Migos and them are from the North. That was considered to be good neighborhoods. You know what I mean? The Migos in them, they from up over that way, the North, right? That's like Cobb, I believe, and they living good. They coming out of, theoretically speaking, when you ride around, these are tree lined neighborhoods, and the majority is houses. They don't have 40-story projects like New York out here in Atlanta. They don't have clusters of projects. They do have their housing projects, like Thomasville, you know what I'm saying? And they tore down a lot of them and whatnot. But it's there's disparities out here, but there's a lot of suburbs. You know what I'm talking about? Texas got big suburbs. I remember riding through what was that? I think it was Cyrus. Was it called Cyrus? I'm talking about beyond mansions. This shit was uber rich. There's places in Texas, they got peacocks walking around like pigeons. Facts. Yeah, Cypress, right? I seen big boy shit out there. You know what I'm talking about? Big shit. And we riding around. I'm seeing peacocks like I would see pigeons in New York. I'm like, who's living out here? What the fuck? Like, they got our people there. Yeah. So it is some great neighborhoods. It's the culture though. You could live in the suburbs. The culture is still gonna affect the children. These children is in these suburban schools being niggas, trying to be sexy red, trying to be little Dirk. They out here cosplaying, and I get it. And we all went through that. We all understand the appeal and the allure. We get it. But yeah, we need to be more proactive in disrupting the fuckery that's happening, because it's coming at us from every single angle. It's not just it's not coming from one angle. This is not a one tiered issue that we're fighting through. This is multiple tiers. This has multiple tiers and whatnot. Yeah. And some of these children are being traumatized. They just they just want clarity, They just want a little more clarity. You feel me? So who else shoulders is it gonna land on but the parents? We control this shit. So let's get to work. With that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. We will catch you on the next go round. All right. What do we have coming up this strong in? Saturday Night Live. Sacrilegious Sundays. If we do it, you will get the alert. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You hit the notifications. And yes, with that being said, make sure y'all tap into what we got going on with these classes. Let me see. Let me throw the we just did yesterday. The Patreon is lit. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon. Imaginarium. The school is lit. You know what I'm talking about? The Get Money Workshop is lit. Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah. That's coming up at the end of the month. So yeah, we got a lot of things going on. Shout out to everybody for your support and whatnot. Yeah, let me throw this up there too. Shoot, might as well. Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan, and everybody that's participating in making New York part of the history books. Because definitely I give that W to the Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I mean? It was their energy that brought the win. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I mean? They sparked that shit. They brought that New York energy. They brought that OG energy into the building. The Killer Bees did that. So shout out to the Wu. You know what I mean? Wu-Tang for the children. You know what I mean? So with that being said, peace, love, and light. All right, we'll see you on the go round.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields. And interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube. And fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North America, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that's scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.